يا بني أقم الصلاة وأمر بالمعروف وانه عن المنكر واصبر على ما أصابك إن ذلك من عزم الأمور ولا تسعر خدك للناس ولا تمش في الأرض مرحا إن الله لا يحب كل مختال فخور صدق الله العظيم.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. We recited Surah Luqman 17 and 18. 17 is about enjoining Ma'ruf and prohibiting Munkar. This is an obligation. In Quran, it's an obligation. It's not an option. It's not optional, it's an obligation. The rule is, Hadith clarifies, the rule is stop munkar with hand. If you have the authority, you have the capability, stop with hand. If you cannot, stop with your speech. Give the advice. If you cannot, then stop with your heart. At no time you should accept it. And you submit to Allah. It's not the best state. Submit to Allah that this is all I can do. Otherwise I will get in trouble. Still not the best option. But at no time you should say, what can I do? I go accept it. Because that's the lowest level of Iman. To hate with your heart is the lowest level of Iman. There's no other Iman under that. Do you know what is the worst speech? Prophet Muhammad said, when somebody tells you, fear Allah, and you tell him, none of your business, mind your own business. Do you know that hadith? This is the worst speech you can have. How often we say that? All the time. Anybody corrects us, we feel offended. So why are you telling me this? I'm doing fine. Do you want me to lose my job? Just mind your own business. Prophet said that's the worst speech you can have. Best speech, Amr bil Ma'ruf and Nahy anil Munkar. Worst speech, reacting to it. What is it to you? I'm eating this, drinking energy drink. What is it to you, brother? You did not pay for it. I remember I was in 2005. I just learned microwave is terrible for you, and cell phone. At that time, a study came out that says cell phones can kill your potency. You cannot have babies. Kills the sperms. So at that time, I saw my brother. He was very proudly showing. At that time, this new generation of smartphones came out, and he's showing me off. I said, brother, it's terrible because you're carrying it in your pocket, and it should not be anywhere close to you, not even in bag, as far as possible. And he felt offered it. He said, look, I just got this. It's so expensive, I could not afford because of my new position. Government, mashallah, government gave me this, and you want me to stop using it. And as for babies, I don't want any more children. I'm done. You see, that's the natural reaction. So what is it to you, brother? Maybe you're just jealous, right? This is the common reaction. So why do I bring it up? Because it comes up every day. Every day. Only recently I learned somebody wants to operate a child, 1.5 year or 2-year-old, because they suspect that the leg is not properly placed. Child is not limping. No problem, but they want to operate. Why? The doctor said that it doesn't look right with the X-ray picture. And we tell them, brother, is it Islamic? So what Islam has to do with this? Doctor is saying this. Only more recently I learned somebody was diagnosed, 2 children diagnosed with what is the disease? Cerebral palsy. Cerebral palsy is a disease, they say it's genetic, meaning before birth it happens. And doctor diagnosed that it happened now, and they started medicine, which is very toxic. In Canada, they never give medicine to any children. Never mind giving to an infant, 9-month-old. So what is the doctor's diagnosis? The child got it from jaundice. You know jaundice, the yellow eye and stuff?
Yes.
And got from jaundice. So it defies all logic. You can simply Google cerebral palsy and you find out it doesn't come from any other condition. And jaundice is a viral disease. Virus, as you know, doesn't stay with you by definition. Even if you die, virus disappears. It's not very difficult to figure out the nonsense. Shaitan is very logical. And Shaitan's followers are also the same. Very logical. Yet, we just don't bother. Cure to ignorance is to ask questions. Ask questions. So today we'll discuss the most important component of research. We covered already intention. If your intention is not to please Allah, forget it. You are not on board. No matter how much I discuss, no matter how much I cry, even if Allah comes down from the cloud with his angels, nothing is going to change your mind. You get nothing. I challenge you, you absolutely get nothing. Dunya or akhirah. You might get a degree, you might get a PhD, it will not benefit you. So that's the first condition. Only please Allah. So, first thing, we did HSSA, degradation. And we know shaitan works with our mind first. Mind is the most important component you have to need for research. And that's why I keep saying that this mind, the intangible process, how to think straight, using your akal. Those are the most important factors in research. If you cannot access your akal, 822, these are the key components. Akal. Anybody knows what akal is? Akal is the ability to use this model, Quran, Hadith, time scale. This model, we call it knowledge model. Allah says, you are the lowliest of creatures. You are dumb deaf if you do not use akal. Do not expect to do research if you are not ready to use akal. And akal, to begin with, must be, we call this intention based. With bad intention, that's the picture I sent today. With bad intention, you're off. Even with good intention, this is what you have to follow. In so-called new science language, we call it abstraction. If you do this, it's called istihad. Even if you're wrong, you get rewarded. If you're right, you get rewarded 10 times. You know that hadith, right? Can you rely on somebody else? No, you cannot ask China, you cannot ask USA. By asking China and USA, you are already on the wrong direction. It's you. This abstraction process is you. If you're wrong, you made mistakes, this is called refinement in scientific language. Refinement. You decided, and subhanallah, it was not the correct decision. You already got one reward. Then you correct it. Come back and say, well, let's start over. Then you get 10 times. Even more. Why? Because you repented, you looked at the mistakes. Allah always likes repentance. So you are better off if you did not make a mistake first time, made the correct decision. By making a mistake, you are better off. And that's history. Every time your prophet made a mistake, when he came back, returned, he came back better. And this is the natural process. Same with disease. So you're going nice and easy, this is time, and you all of a sudden become sick. Sickness. So you fail. If you use the natural remedy, this is health. mental health, physical health. He came back, he became sick. Rather than going to doctor and taking toxic chemicals, you sought remedy from Allah and from Quran and Hadith. You see, using this model. Your status would be a lot better than your previous. Previously you're going this way, now you start like that. And this is the benefit of research. It's in everything. So I like giving an example of health because everybody can relate to it. You don't need a degree. But it applies to every project that you have. Once you fail off, recover, you are better off. The whole world is going in this direction, by the way. The world. We mentioned last class that US 70% people are sick. 70%. So this is the world. When they become sick, say somebody became sick, right? Terrible state. They took antibiotic, biotic and all these things, they become worse than this one. They start off that from there. They never recover. Even if you, with all the good intentions, if you start with toxic medication, you start off from here. You get hooked on drugs, pharmaceutical drugs. You do not recover. Next time you become sick, you need another one. One antibiotic cannot be used all the time. You need another antibiotic until you absolutely cannot recover from it. You die of poison. The children I was talking about, most likely you're given medicine for jaundice. That caused that neurological disorder. Then it was falsely diagnosed as cerebral palsy. Then they gave more medication to make sure they never recovered. You have to catch this. And it's very simple. When the doctor says, this is what I'm saying, when an engineer from China says, this is what I'm saying, who told you that? Who told you? And you find out they're full of it. It's not logical, and it's not, certainly not Islamic. It's full of this one, dumb and blind. So, in research, you always have to go back to the honey standard. We did that HSSA. We go back to honey standard. It's very easy in every subject. Theoretically, it's very easy. Practically, we'll see. Depends on your intention. You'll find degradation happen in every field. It's in energy. It was fire, natural fire, right, from wood. Then they introduced natural gas. Anything wrong with natural gas? No, except they purified. They added toxic chemicals to purify, to get rid of natural material like carbon dioxide, water. They made it bad. The process became bad. Not only that, they added toxic chemicals, so it smells. Why do they smell? You see how Shaitan always promises you that my intention is good. I posted yesterday that when you expose your intention, Allah will make sure that your intention is exposed. You will be humiliated in dunya and akhirah. So their intention is to say, we're saving you. We are Muslimun, right? They're saving you. But what is it? Toxic chemical. Especially when you're burning it. The smell that he smell from natural gas is a toxic chemical that you are inhaling. So that's not enough. They introduce electricity. What is the source of electricity? Is this natural? No. Is the process natural? No. Both. So that's not enough. They introduce microwave. Do you know microwave blows up 97% of the nutrients, according to those guys. So progressively, this is Dr. Jenner's story I wanted to tell you. Natural immunity booster. What is the best immunity fluid? You know. Do you know? Mother's milk first 3 days. It's not really milk. It's the immunity booster. It's thick. It's not like milk. It doesn't fill the tummy. But what does it do? That's the natural vaccine Allah created. And it's there. For infant, first thing is the mother's milk has that. It has a fancy name. It's not milk. Prophet Sunnah, first thing you give is chewed up date to the child. Shaitan tells you, give them, they used to give sugar, now they say no, give water, then they give milk. They have a substitute of milk because nowadays a lot of children are being born allergic to mother's milk. Imagine that. They have disease. You cannot look at natural sun. You have to have artificial sun. You know what it is called? Chronic fatigue syndrome, CFS. Check that out. You're allergic to mother's milk, you're allergic to anything natural life. So this is the trick Shaitan has played. Everything is twisted around completely. So back to immunization, organic lifestyle, you have everything. All the medicine is in food. It's in honey, which is also food. In black seed, this is also food. Natural herbs. Today I gave somebody natural remedy for cough, right? What does it have? Black seed, fennel seed, clove, ginger. Best remedy. So what happened with Dr. Jenner? Many people know him. The first guy who invented vaccine, modern day. So natural vaccine to first aspect, that's the sugar, right? He found out that a lady who was immunized by having cow's pox. She was drawing milk from the cow and the cow had pox, and that way she developed natural cow's pox, and that's why she was immune to smallpox. Anything wrong with that process? No. You develop natural immunity just by going out, by playing with dirt. You develop natural immunity. But what did Dr. Jenner say? We'll take that pox and we'll inject. And he's the father of vaccine. We'll inject. Anything wrong with that process? Is the injection allowed? And you violated the process. As I said, you cannot even inject honey. First violation, just like sugar, is injecting those poxes, cow's pox serum. Sources is still organic, is still natural, but the process is non-organic, and it's toxic. Third, it's not enough. Cow's pox, you can only have that much. You see, Western medicine, Western philosophy altogether always tries to maximize profit. They are trying to maximize benefit of shaitan, money god we call it. So what did they introduce? Artificial serum, just like vitamin C. Ascorbic acid is artificial lemon juice. They say, we can make a lot more money by mass producing this serum. It's artificial, but it does the job. And it does. Vitamin C, if you take a lot of it, it does the same job. But it's toxic for you. You know, doctors used to say that, even now, they say, take a whole bunch of vitamin C and your cold will go away. Isn't it true? But you get cancer down the road. So that's the next level. Now, so Louis Pasteur is the guy who introduced lab-made vaccines, artificial versions. And he successfully applied to rabies for rat. It was a success. As I told you, it does work for certain things. Like vitamin C will so-called cure your cold. But that's not enough. They now, one disease, smallpox, right? Then they said, well, we can make it artificial. It will work on rabies. And then, that's not enough. They said, we'll inject for everything. Diseases that you rarely will have. What percentage of people are likely to catch polio? Very few, very, very few. Not even 1 in 1,000, 1 in maybe 10,000. But you're vaccinating everybody. And vaccinating when? As an infant. Here I was in a hotel and somebody knocked on the door and they came and started to talk something. He said, do you have children? I said, why? What is it to you, right? And then later on it was explained, those guys are coming from UN. UN cares for you so much. You see, how many times Shaitan have to lie to you for you to believe that Shaitan is really not a well-wisher. UN came to my door in a hotel, which is never heard of. You never hear that in any Western country. That they knock on your door looking for your child. You go to jail if you do that. And why? Because they want to give vaccine, polio vaccine to my child, oral vaccine. They love my children so much. And you believe it. So the hotel caretaker was surprised that I was anti-vaccine. He said, well, I thought you came from West. I said, no. In Western society, they'll shoot the guy. If somebody wants to vaccinate your child without your permission, they will shoot him. But no, not here. That's where the Bani Israel mindset comes to play. We trust Shaitan. And today, you know, in old days, there were only 4 diseases. It was smallpox, some other, I forgot, tuberculosis, right? 4 diseases. Now they have like 60 some, 15 shots. Each shot has like 4 or 5 ingredients. So literally you are poisoning your child in name of immunizing them. And what was the promise Shaitan made? Inna wa nahnu muslihun, right? We are muslihun. We are peacemaker. We are boosting the immunity of your children. completely poisoning them. Now, we talked about Robert Kennedy Jr.'s statement last day, how this has made America sick. And now we talk about eliminating all this to save the children. We want to make America healthy again. Not MAGA, MAHA. By not giving them vaccine. How is your run? Who does not know this? If you have any iman, don't you see how you can go back? Very easy. But you don't. So, it suffices to say, we have this degradation in everything. What you are tasked to do, and that's what I will dedicate the next half an hour to it, I gave you the research proposal. Everybody has a copy that you are supposed to do. And I said, at the end, after 3 months, you'll have a full research proposal, complete with comprehensive literature review. Meaning, not only you will cite most relevant publications, you will also deconstruct them. Meaning, you'll find out what's wrong with them. We mentioned this particular exercise, what assumptions they made. So let me write it down first. So, first task is in the title. What is the assumption here? You have to have a title. So I want you to write down the title right now. And if you don't have, promise me that you will have by the end of the day. Just the title. Right? Title should have the answer to this research question. What is the research question? What are you trying to do? What is your objective? I mentioned for the first day that it could very well be, oh, I will model the drone system. So let's make that an objective. I'll model a drone system. From its launch to manufacturing to taking off and coming back, whatever. So that's your project. As a hypothetical, I'm giving you a project. The title itself would have this answer. So what would be the answer here? Modeling drone system. So your research question is how to model the drone system, and the title is modeling drone system. His model was teleporting. His research question was how to teleport. Not human, maybe objects. So what would be the title? Teleporting objects. Right? So next one, I said, so he stated objective. Next is objective, both long term and short term. So for the drone one, short term objective, we have existing model, say existing system. We as silly as I'll just model today's technology. But that's not enough. You should also point out what is your long-term objective. Long-term should be, I will make it sustainable. Meaning the one I would do would be based on real science. And that is a must. You must have it now. Because you are not research is not firefighting. What is firefighting? You don't need researchers, you need firefighters. Very skilled. They have everything in hand. Research is finding out why fire is taking place. Find out solutions that will prevent future fire, plus you will do something that is actually beneficial. You see the role? You are not firefighting. It's not research. Your job is research. Prevent fires and find out something that is not toxic to the environment. For instance, you take, what is it? There is a fire extinguisher. Have you seen the component of fire extinguisher? Very toxic. You die if you inhale. So that's not research. How to do that is not research, that's training. And monkeys can be trained to do that. So that's why, even though this seems to be a short-term goal, you should realize it's not really research. But we'll make sure it is research by asking the right questions. That's why you always have to have a long-term. You're modeling something. What do I model? I'll use aspirin, I'll use CFT. And I'll punch some buttons, and mashallah, it will be showing a drone flying. Is that research? I told you, a monkey can do it. A child can very easily do it. What will be research? Find out what are the assumptions behind your Aspen or CFD models. What did they assume? That's research. For that, you need no skill, you need L, you need brain power or heart. So, this you have to do, unless you have done it already, make it, write it down. What is your short-term objective? What is your long-term objective? Then I said, literature review. What is the first thing I say? Literature review. Just search. Literature is the past. Allah zikr. Whatever has happened, let's see what people have done. Let's collect data. If they are true or false, this is the model we are using. We are collecting data. Then we will do information. This is what it is. Information. Then we will do knowledge. Then we do decision. This is the scientific version. Of knowledge model. So we're collecting data, that's all. We're not saying this is right or wrong. All the data you have. So that's all. Literature only involves this. We are not here yet. Not yet. Never mind this. First stage is to calculate. So I said you simply Google. Don't ask ChatGPT. Google yourself, because we talked about what artificial intelligence. You don't want to rely on artificial intelligence. You want to rely on your own Allah-given intelligence. ChatGPT, artificial intelligence, is not Akal. It's anything but Akal. If you get that information from ChatGPT, then you do not know what happened here. You have no ability to verify. You cannot travel here. This is not ChatGPT. Not ChatGPT. Or what is it? DeepSeek. No. Because they give you decision. They use their own artificial intelligence criteria. Your criterion is what? Remember? Criterion is Furqan. What is Furqan? Quran. In the context of Hadith. So first thing you do, collect. So collect data. So you review, get all the papers. Get all relevant papers. Paper titles, classes and abstracts. And they're free, I told you. Next stage, you select 5 top papers, academic papers. With those academic papers, question are you asked? What does it say? What assumptions are involved? What did they assume? Are they logical? Improve or replace? Summary, or I call it delinearized analysis. What is linearized analysis? It's saying, mashallah, you did a great job. Nothing wrong. You just copy and paste. Delinearized is the natural one. You find out, and you find out everything's wrong about it. Everything. There is nothing, no true information there. How do you know that? From deductive logic. What did Prophet Muhammad say about Shaitan? He's a liar even when he makes a correct statement. You know this for this. Shaitan is a liar even when he makes a correct statement. Shaitan taught Abu Hurairah a dua which was correct. But still Shaitan is a liar. Why is that? Why Shaitan is always a liar? his intention is not good. Nothing Shaitan said or will do has good intention. Shaitan doesn't travel the upper path. Who are these guys who developed these theories that we looked at? Are they followers of Shaitan or followers of Allah? From deductive logic, you know they're followers of Shaitan. From inductive logic, you know they made a weakness. According to them, they made a weakness. So you cannot say, MashaAllah, this is good, I'm going to photocopy. I want to copy and paste. Then you are falling in the trap. So your summary and the detailed analysis would be for every paper, all 5 papers, detailed. This is why it's wrong. And this is why it's illogical. And this is why we have to do something to improve. That's the only thing I'm looking for. Once you know we are up to literature review, it becomes very clear what you can do for research. But the most important part is to recognize what's wrong with them. Nobody studies literature. I don't know if you're familiar with it or not. PhD supervisor gives his own paper to the student. This is my latest paper. Do something on it. What does the student do? He adds another coefficient to the same paper. We have to break out of that. We have to improve. So model I use is again is down to earth, and you are all familiar with it. Anybody